Canadians are moving out of Canada every day. Do you think it's still worth it for a foreigner to move to Canada in 2024? In this video, I'll be touching on some of the reasons why Canada may not be the best bet for you in 2024. My name is Dami and I'm a YouTuber based in London, Ontario, Canada, and I share lifestyle videos and also immigration videos and tips that would help your immigration journey if you're considering moving to Canada sometime in the future. I've shared a lot of videos in the past and you can go back to watch some of my old videos talking about why Canada may be the best decision for you to move to as a single person or as a family, especially if you're coming to study in Canada and you're looking to remain after your study. But with some recent development and some things that I have been saying for the past few months and few years now of me living in Canada, I can categorically tell you that Canada is not what it used to be and a lot of people are moving out of Canada. So many reasons and factors contribute to the reason why a lot of people are moving currently, and in this video I'll be talking about some of the reasons and why a lot of people may not want to move to Canada in 2024 or in the coming years. I recently watched a video where the girl was saying the immigration process and planning phase is the easiest phase when it comes to your moving journey as a foreigner to any part of the world, especially in Canada. And I totally agree to what this girl is saying, because it may seem very expensive to move. The period of time where you're waiting may be a very, very tense and uncertain period of time, but trust me, that is the easiest or may be the easiest period as a foreigner in any part of the world. Moving to Canada, I noticed that it was a situation of what I ordered versus what I got. And honestly, I realized that a lot of people do not talk enough about the negative part of Canada. I've been seeing a lot of people do videos recently about why you may want to reconsider your decision moving to Canada, and I just thought to contribute my 2 cents to these videos. The first reason why you may want to reconsider your decision to move to Canada is the cost of moving. It is very expensive, and it is no news to anyone that moving to Canada is a very, very stressful and expensive process. If you're coming to Canada with the express entry process, which means you'll be coming to Canada directly as a permanent resident, that may actually be the easiest way and the cheapest way to move to Canada. But this process is also not very cheap. The minimum cost of living that you need to provide as a single applicant to move to Canada is about $14,000. $14,000 may seem expensive to a lot of people, and to a few other people may seem not so expensive. But for people coming from my country in Nigeria, we know $14,000 with the exchange rate right now is a lot of money. On the other hand, if you're considering coming to Canada as a student, I would say you may want to abort the mission because it is so expensive to move to Canada as a student. The average yearly tuition as a student in Canada is about $20,000 per year, and that is extremely expensive. Before you can get the return on your investment, it may take a long time. Some people, it takes them 10 years, some people, it takes them less. If you think you can wait this long to see a return on your investments as a foreigner in Canada, then feel free to do that. But if you think that you're someone that does not really have a lot of money, you plan to gather money from different people to come to Canada, and you intend on paying them back, you intend on starting a life, you intend on start making money within your first few months in Canada, please trust me, it doesn't work that way. It may take you a few years for you to be able to actually afford to live a comfortable life, then coupled with a lot of debts that you probably have from back home, it's gonna take you a few years to balance it out. Once you're done with that stressful and expensive relocation process, then you arrive in Canada and it's time for you to get a job, especially if you're coming as a permanent resident. Getting a job is a job on its own in Canada, and I always tell people that you shouldn't always intend to find it easy because you are a foreigner. Every country will always consider their own people before they consider foreigners, and that is the case also in Canada. But Canada is a bit different. The population in Canada is just about 40 million people, and the jobs in Canada is not a lot. So you are competing for the same job with several people just because there are not many industries in Canada. A lot of people, even Canadian citizens, are moving out of Canada now just because they cannot get good jobs or high-paying jobs anymore. Then when you get the job, the taxes are ridiculous. If you already do not know, in Canada, taxes go higher as you earn. So if you're earning little, you would not pay as much taxes as someone that is earning more than you. So the percentage of taxes you'll be paying as a low income earner is different from the percentage of tax a very high income earner pays. People pay almost 40% of their taxes, especially if you're earning so well in Canada. So you may want to reconsider this because you're working very much and you're expecting to have a lot of money back for the work you're putting in. But it's not always like that because the government takes a lot of it. We know that a lot of people actually say the taxes you're paying works back for you and gives you things in return. Canada runs a free healthcare system, but is the healthcare really free if you cannot access the healthcare? I've been on the wait list for over 2 years now to get a doctor in Canada. I haven't gotten one. If you need urgent care, you have to go into the emergency room, and the emergency room is not really an emergency room. I haven't personally had a reason to go to the emergency room, but people that have, they've talked about having to spend hours upon hours waiting to see a doctor, even in emergency. And now let's talk about the crazy cost of living. It is so expensive to get accommodation in Canada right now. That's even if you get one. Eventually, when you get one, you're paying through your nose. If you're living in a province like Ontario, everyone in Ontario currently knows that it is so expensive to pay rent. A lot of people have housemates because they cannot afford to live by themselves. I'm one of them. People cannot afford to live by themselves anymore just because it is so expensive to pay for those rents. Cost of grocery is on the high right now. When I came to Canada, it wasn't as expensive as it is currently, but it is crazy expensive now, and you're wondering where all your income is going. This is crazy. I'm just going to go back into the job market. I currently work as an HR person, and trust me, talking from the HR point of view, it is so difficult to integrate into the system as a foreigner in any part of the world. Canada is also not short of this. It is so difficult to integrate yourself into the system. You're already battling with speaking the way you speak. You have an accent and it is different from the accent you're used to. You have to battle with constantly reassuring yourself that you're doing a good job. You have to battle with getting a tap on the shoulder all the time from people in your organization, making sure that you are actually doing the thing they want you to do. It is so difficult, trust me, integrating into the system. It is so difficult feeling like you are doing a great job. When you eventually get to the top of your career, you feel fulfilled, you feel happy, you feel like, yeah, you've achieved something. But trust me, you're still paying very high for taxes. It feels like you cannot even afford to buy a house. The average cost of buying a house in Ontario right now is about $600,000. Imagine having to pay $600,000 for a house. Okay, you're not paying $600,000. You're paying a percentage of the $600,000. So you can pay like 5% of that $600,000. But that's still a lot of money if your yearly income is $50,000. How long is it going to take you to save 5% of a $700,000 house? It's probably going to take you a lot. I know it may seem like I'm ranting in this video, but trust me, I just feel like a lot of people need to understand that it is not all bed of roses in Canada. Canada has also been good to me. I'm not even going to lie. A lot of people have their success stories in Canada as well, but it just feels like it's going to take you a long time to actually achieve the success story that you aim for yourself. I recently spoke to a friend that moved from Canada and went to the US just because it just feels like it's the best decision to make for yourself. So you're constantly running, you're constantly on the move. You ran from your country because you're looking for a better life. Then you came to Canada to look for a better life, and it seems like the better life is really not better. I'm not going to make this video too long. I'm not going to make my rants too long. But with all this being said, you can also check out my other videos where I talk about why you should consider coming to Canada and how you can process coming to Canada. But I just feel like we also need to keep talking about the negatives so that you don't come and you feel like people didn't tell you enough about the negative. So this is me telling you that you should weigh your options. You should check if you still want to come to Canada. You should check to make sure that you're not making a wrong decision. And if you eventually decide to come to Canada, are you going to the right province? Make sure that you check all the provinces. Make sure that the provinces meet all the requirements and check all the boxes that you want for yourself. So that being said, do you still want to move to Canada in 2024? If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. If you want more of this kind of videos, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll be definitely happy to make videos like this just to tell you about what to expect when you move to Canada. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.